I should probably not have any messy hair. Wait, are we on camera? Oh! I guess I started too late. Okay, let's run that back again, shall we? Hey, what's up guys, this is Seb Sanford, and welcome to another exciting sketch of SGN, in the style of John Krasinski. Inspired by John Krasinski, actually. And before we get to the good news, let's start off with a special daily extra from my Snoopy calendar. And this is a poem taken from Emily Dickinson. And it probably goes out to the Apple TV Plus fans who have watched the Dickinson show with Haley Steinfeld. Anyways, let's read the poem. Answer July. Where is the bee? Where is the blush? Where is the hay? Ah, said July. Where is the seed? Where is the bud? Where is the May? Answer thee me. Nay, said the May. Show me the snow. Show me the bells. Show me the jay. Quibble the jay. Where be the maize? Where be the haze? Where be the burr? Here said the year. I feel like I'm a rapper whilst reading this poem. Okay, now that I rapped the poem, like Jay-Z or Kanye West, let's get straight to the notes. For the first story of the day, if any of you guys are huge fans of the 60s group The Beatles, well, this week we celebrated Ringo Starr's 80th birthday, and yet he has aged really well. And to celebrate the 80th birthday of Ringo, I'll probably have a go at watching Yesterday, as it has to do with the subject of the Beatles. And yeah, I should probably look back on some of his narrating in Thomas the Tank Engine. So I raised my glass to Ringo Starr. Many happy returns, and have the best one this week. This one's for you. And also out to John Paul and Ringo. John Paul George, sorry. Yeah. Many happy returns, Ringo. And for the second story of the day, it all has to do with the fastest man on the planet. I, of course, am talking about Usain Bolt, because he revealed on socials that he's finally given a name for his daughter, and that name is, of course, Olympia Lightning Bolt. And yeah, that's a really good 3-word name. So a massive shout out to Usain Bolt and his daughter Olympia Lightning Bolt. And I raise my glass again, not only to Ringo, just like I said before, but also to Usain and Olympia Bolt. And Usain, I believe your daughter is going to do many great things in the coming years. And she's going to have a really good future ahead of her. Anyways, cut the emotion talk. Let's go over to the next story. For the next story on today's sketch, if any of you Netflix fans are a fan of the Tales of Arcadia saga, well, I just saw on socials that they revealed the first few images and the new poster for the final chapter in the Arcadia saga. I, of course, am talking about Wizards. It's all in the hands of visionary director Guillermo del Toro, who's very famous for The Shape of Water, Pan's Labyrinth, and Pacific Rim, just to name a few of the greatest achievements he has done. But I can't wait to see how the Arcadia trilogy is concluding, and I guess it is really sad that we have to say goodbye to Arcadia for the very last time. Anyways, I think the series will be split into 2 parts, or probably 2 series at least. Anyways, we'll keep our eyes and ears out for a new trailer on Netflix somewhere. And I'll probably react to the trailer on my channel as well. Okay, let's go over to the next story of the day, probably the next segment. It's time for an update on the weather, on the segment I like to call Weather or Not. And I think we're expecting some really good weather out there. But let's go over to another Seb who has more on this weather story. Other Seb, what's it like out there? Well, Seb, it looks pretty good. Well, I would have said so myself. Well, I think that wraps up today's episode of Some Good News on my YouTube channel in the style of John Krasinski. Thank you so much for watching episode 19 with me, and make sure you hit subscribe for new videos like trailer reactions, and probably some more good news sketches in the style of John Krasinski, and probably some vlogging as well. And be sure to hit the bell and follow me on my socials for more. Link in the description. 2 links in descriptions, Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode. That's it from me and the team here in the middle of nowhere. Thank you, and good night.